So as we get started today, this video is divided into chapters. If you want to skip at any point, just look at the sliding bar underneath the plating window and you can see the chapters to skip ahead. Welcome back to the Crochet Cradles, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the Ripple Baby Blanket, and this is a really neat idea, and the yarn actually does a lot of the work for you as far as styling. So the yarn is no longer being made, the Red Heart Snuggle Bunny. You may be able to find it in somebody's collection somewhere. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to do this one here. It's a nice beautiful little pattern. To change the size of this blanket, it's in multiples of 16 plus 2. So you will chain 16, 16, 16 and then add 2 at the end of the chain to keep the balance. Now because this yarn was actually really quite thick and you were using a 9mm size N as in Nancy crochet hook, then what's happening here is that this yarn is a lot thicker. So you can just look to the ball band and just find the recommendation. So it's a 6.5mm size K, so that's what I'm gonna use today. So because I've given you now the stitch multiples of 16 plus 2, you can substitute this particular project with any kind of yarn that you have, and that's what I'm going to be playing with today. So today I'm going to take you through here. I won't note the measurements if you're changing the hook sizes or the yarn, but the whole concept of this is to be able to teach you exactly what you see here. So let's begin and grab our yarn and let's play. So let's get started. Today I'm using Red Heart Hygge and the color is called Cloud. I really like gray for baby blankets and etc. So what I want to do is that I want to either chain 98 if I want to match exactly the pattern, but just know that my hook is being substituted to match the yarn. So if I want to change the size, which I do, is going to be multiples of 16 plus 2. So either chain 98 and follow the pattern as is, or do multiples of 16. So let's just do the first 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So 16 is the first one that you have. Now when you lay it down here like this, you're gonna think it's pretty long, but remember that this goes into a chevron shape, so it will compress inward. So you want to keep that in mind. And so what I want you to do is either chain your 98 or do your sets of 16 and then meet me back here in just a few moments. I'm gonna do 2 more sets of 16 off camera. So I did 2 more sets of 16. So it's gonna feel a lot longer, but remember it's going to compress once you get the chevron. So if you did the sets of 16, don't forget to add 2 more at the end of the chain so that you will have balance. And now we're gonna progress to row number 1. In row number 1, the edging will have 2 single crochets in the first stitch that we begin, and it will have 2 single crochets in the last stitch that we begin, and everything else in between is consistent. So second chain from the hook, just turn it around and get the back hump of the chain and go to the second chain and put in 2 single crochets into the back. So we have 1 and 2. So that's the only time 2 single crochets appear in the same stitches on the beginning and on the last side. So now we're gonna go in the down motion. So we're gonna go down into the valley. So there's gonna be 7 single crochets in a row. So just on the back of the chain, just go into each one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we're gonna create the chevron shape by skipping the next chain and then going to the one after that and do the next 7 in a row. So skipping the next one and do the next 7 chains in a row. So we're gonna go 1 up and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And now the next one is gonna be the top peak of the chevron. So the next one will have 3 single crochets into the same chain. So we're gonna repeat what we know now. So we're going to go 7 down. So let's count those. So 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that's in the down motion. So we're at the bottom of the valley. So we're gonna skip the next chain and do the next 7 going up. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that was going up, so the next one has to be 3 single crochets in a row, or into the same one, sorry. So 1, 2, and 3. So I want you to continue to go up and down, and you will see that it'll start making the chevron shapes, and I want you to meet me near to the end of this. So please go up and down and meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm on my last section, so I'm now going in the down motion, so I'm skipping the next one and I'm doing 7 going up as I finish to the edge. So hopefully I'm on the right count. So we have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and there should be 1 chain left, which there is, and in that last chain it's going to be 2 single crochets into the same one. So remember what I said at the beginning is that there was 2 into the very beginning one, and then there's 2 into the last, and then you've been going up and down in the motion across. We're gonna turn our work and begin row number 2, which is the same one, 2 through 8, which is the same instruction. Let's begin. So I'm gonna give you the instructions now. Rows 2 through 8 is the same thing. So let's begin. You're going to chain up 1, and in the same one that it's coming out of, you need to place 2 single crochets in there. So 1 and 2. So like before, we're going to just change what's happening at the bottom just slightly. So I need you to count, starting in the next one, 7 down. So let's count those out together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I need you to skip the next 2 stitches in a row. So skipping those 2 and go to the third and go 7 single crochets back up, and this will pull it into that chevron shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here's the trick. The next one should be the middle one of the grouping of 3 that's in the peak, which it is. And in that one you're going to place 3 single crochets in there. So 1, 2, and 3. So let's go down again. So the next 7 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then you're gonna skip the next 2 and then go to the third and go 7 up again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then the next one should be the middle of the grouping of 3, which it is. So it'll be 3 single crochets there. So 1, 2, and 3. So what I want you to do is go up and down all the way to the end, and you'll see it materializing right before your eyes, and I'll meet you near the end in just a few moments from now. So I'm coming up to the final part. So I've just skipped over the bottom, the 2, and I'm now going 7 up. So I've got 1 in there so far, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and I still have 1 more stitch left. So once your 7 are up, the last stitch is going to have 2 single crochets in it, and that completes row number 2. So you can turn your work, and all you just need to do at this point is to repeat now this row. So 2 again. So rows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is always the same thing of what I just showed you. So I'm going to meet you on row number 9 in just a few moments from now, but I'm going to crochet the rest of those rows now. So if you need to learn how to do that again, just reverse back to row number 2 and it will start the video back, and there's video chapters in the video description to be able to know what that time marker is. I'll see you back here in a few moments. So at this point of the tutorial you should have rows number 2 through 8 done. So we're now going to move on to number 9. Realistically, behind the scenes it took me an hour to figure out what to do next. I actually misread number 9 and 10 wasn't working out, and I kept diagramming it out. So I just want to let you know that just because I'm a host here doesn't mean that I'm perfect or I get things right away. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, as they say. So let's move on to row number 9. In row number 9, where I was going wrong was in the peaks, and we'll show you the proper way of doing it instead of the way I had done it before. Let's do number 9. So as we begin number 9, I'm showing you the proper way, so I'm not showing you the error that I did. So I'm going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want to come immediately to the very next stitch, and I'm going to double crochet, and then I want to move down the valley. So you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next one after that. So you're creating these posts of double crochet. So chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet. So you should see, don't include this one on the end, but you should see 4 going down. That's the secret, is 4. So now that I have 4, I did not chain 1 after that last one, and I want to skip the middle 2 single crochet, and I want to go to the third one over and double crochet and go up. And my goal is to have 4 double crochets going up before you start doing the fun stuff. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. So look for 4 going up. So there's 2 so far. So chain 1, skip 1, go into the next, chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next. Okay, so you see 4. So we're gonna go up over the top of the peak, and how to do that is that we're gonna chain 1 and we're going to go immediately into the next one, so we're not skipping, and then chain 1 and immediately into the very next one after that, and that is the peak. I was doing it wrong before. So now I want to head on down the hill. So the secret is 4. So chain 1 to start, and then skip 1 and double crochet in the one after that. So let's look and go down the hill. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, and I can feel that I'm already near the valley, which I am. So I want to see that there's 4. So don't include the top peak one. It's the middle one of the single crochet, so don't include that when you're looking at it. So you see 4, so I know it's right. And I did not chain 1 after this one and skip the 2 middle and double crochet going up. And I want to make sure I can see 4 of those. So chaining 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, and keep on doing that until you get back up to the top. Okay, and I can see that there's 4. Chain 1, and I'm at the peak, so I'm going to go immediately into the very next one, so I'm not skipping. Chain 1 and come into the one right after it. So all 3 of those single crochets are being used, and then we're going to start coming down. So this one here is counted as the 1 of 4 if you want to look at it from that perspective. So chain 1, which I already did, skip 1 and come on down. And I want you to go up and down your valleys and your peaks doing this, looking for that magic 4, right? So I can see that there's 4 coming down. So now that I have that at the bottom, don't chain 1 after that, just skip the 2 middle and come on back up. So just go up and down, put me on pause, and for those that are ready to continue, I'm going to keep on going. So put me on pause if you need to. Okay, so for those that are going up, you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and we're going to make our way all the way to the edge. And we're in the second last one before the end, and there is the 4 that's going up. Chain 1 and double crochet into the very last stitch, and that was row number 9. So you have these gapping holes that you can see. So we're going to turn our work and do row number 10. So in row number 10, what we want to pay attention to the most is these ones that are at the bottom that do not have a space between them. So at the bottom of the valleys. So you'll see them here, here, and here. And so everything else in between is equally spaced, and you're looking for the double crochets to make it easier for you. So to start off, you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that counts as your double crochet in a chain 1 space. Immediately in the next double crochet that you run into, just double crochet and then chain 1. So make sure you put chain 1s in between the double crochets except for here at the bottom. So look for the next double crochet and double crochet it and chain 1, and keep doing that until you get to the base. So I'm gonna chain 1 and I'm gonna come into the next double crochet, which is part of the base. So see here, I'm not gonna put a chain 1 in between these, and I'm just gonna immediately double crochet into the next. Okay, so they're kind of side by side, and then you're gonna come up over top of the peak here. So chain 1 to start again and just come immediately to the next one. So just chain 1 and just use only the double crochets that you have already put in before. So I'm not worrying about the peaks at all. I'm letting it just follow itself right up over the top of the peak by just using the double crochets and making sure that I put chain 1s in between them. So I'm really more paying attention to these valleys that will be coming up shortly. Okay, so chain 1 and it will get me to the first one of the 2 at the valley. And then I immediately double crochet into the next one in the valley. So there's not a space between there. And then chain 1 to start up again. So just using the double crochets and chain 1. And just keep on going up and down the valleys just and the peaks just like you see. Because I misread number 9, this wasn't working out originally because I was adding an extra stitch for every valley. Okay, so coming in and I'm looking for where the valley appears next. So I chain 1 before the first one in the valley, and then I come into the next one, which is sharing side by side, and chain 1 and come only use the double crochets going up. So put me on hold if you need to see the edge. Just hold with me for a second. Everybody else just put me on hold and we will show you the edge in just a moment. For those that are ready, just chain up 1 and you're only using the double crochets, and chain 1 and use the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4 as you're holding thought. So you go right into a chain work, not into a space, and that will conclude row number 10. So you have what appears to be some gapping spaces that you can see within the model, and we're going to move on to row number 11, which will return us back to the single crochet format. To return us back to the single crochet format, we're gonna be focusing on the double crochets and the chain 1 spaces. Ignore the 2 middle ones that are in the valleys. So you'll ignore those 2 and those 2 and those 2 and etc. all the way down your row. So to start, you're going to chain up 1 and put 2 single crochets into the first. Remember we did that in the beginning. And starting in the space and these double crochets going down, you're going to count 7 from the space, and then the double crochet is 2, the space is 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's count those out. So start in the space for 1, double crochet for 2, single space for 3, double crochet for 4, space for 5, double crochet for 6, and the space for 7. So there's your 7 going down. So then that means you're gonna skip over these 2 double crochets and start in this space going back up. So count that space for 1, the double crochet for 2, the space for 3, the double crochet for 4, the space for 5, double crochet for 6, and the space for 7. and this takes you to the top of the peak, and you'll put 3 single crochets in there. So I'm not gonna count like space and double crochets. I'm just gonna count the stitches. So you're gonna go down 7. So you have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 should take you to the space just before the 2 at the bottom. Jump over those 2 and start up in the other space going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 should take you to the space before the peak, which it does, and then you'll have 3 single crochets at the top. And then come on down. So come on down 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which takes you to the space before the 2, and then come on up the 7. So if you're going to the end, just put me on hold now and play me then. For everybody else, you're gonna go up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's the space right before the end, and in the 3rd chain up you want to put in 3 single crochets. Sorry, 2 single crochets at the end. So you started with 2 on the one side, and this will return you back, and this will then complete then row number 11. So what you have to do now is go back in the pattern and to redo a certain amount of rows again, and you'll just have to repeat. So let's take a look at the pattern next. So as we take a look at this, do you see how it's kind of lumpy and stuff? This will return back to normal. So when you start continuing back and forth, and I promise you that it will, is that it'll start shaping itself back to the sharp points that it was. Now in the pattern here, when we go to look at it from this perspective, it says repeat rows number 2 through 11 4 more times. So you'll do rows number 2 through 11 4 more times. Then you'll repeat rows number 2 through 8 just 1 time, but do not fasten off because we're gonna do an edge, and the edge is done on the right side of the work. So if you want to stop at any point, let me just stop this particular yarn strand here, and if I want to stop at any point, the right side of the project, this tail at the beginning of the project will appear on the side that you will hold your hook in. So if you're right-handed, it'll appear on the right, and if you're left-handed, it'll appear on the left. And this is the right side of the work. And I'm gonna show you how to do the final edging, which is the 2 edges only, and we're gonna leave the tops and the bottoms the way that they are. When we go to do this for the edging, you're just gonna start on the right side, and you're just gonna start right in the very end of the row, the very beginning. And so you're going to just join it. Okay, and chain 1 and single crochet in. Now each single crochet row has 1 single crochet that will match the end of the row. So you're just gonna put 1 single crochet in each of the rows that have single crochet rows. So it'll match perfectly to it. And then the rows that have these double crochets, you're only gonna apply 2 double crochets around the post. So 1 and 2, and then jump to the next one, 1 and 2, and then resume back into the ends of these single crochet rows again. So just in the ends of the single crochet, there will be 1 single crochet, and the ends of these double crochets there will be 2 around the post. Once you're officially ready to then fasten off, just trim the yarn, and you want to pull the yarn through. This is considered the right side of the work, so you'll want to do the other side on the right side as well. Start and just work your way down so that it looks even. And of course if you don't want to do a border, that's up to you, but that's what it states in the pattern. So I want to grab a tapestry needle at this point, and I want to feed that in. And all I'm gonna do is turn it to the back side of the work, and just drag it underneath the stitch work in the inside, but do not go on the outside of the edge. So stay clear of it. So we say one, so we want to go through once. Don't change the shape of your project and dive in again. Slightly different path so it'll hold. And again come out to the back side. And that's the second time. And then of course one more time. So you have to do it 3 times in order for these not to fall out. And once you have that done, snip your work and you're good to go. So this would be how you do the baby ripple blanket, and it's a really neat idea, and the double crochets provide you a bit of relief so it'll grow faster, and overall it's a pretty neat concept. So until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crew. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. We'll see you. Bye bye.